What's going on YouTube? Larkish here, and earlier today we had some news come out regarding the Blue Beetle character from DC or DC Comics, and that news being that Blue Beetle is going to get a brand new animated series. Now, in the past we've seen Blue Beetle animated before, whether it be, in other people's shows or whatever, but this time this series is just all about him. It's kind of like a solo story basically. And what also makes this animation different is that it'll be based off of the DC movie that came out last August. However, it sounds like this animated series won't serve as a direct sequel to the Blue Beetle movie that came out. It'll just be more of a spin-off series that had the first movie as a stepping stone to tell his own original story. So in a way, this will kind of be like a Blue Beetle 1.5 and not a Blue Beetle Part 2. So this right here reminds me of what the Ninja Turtles are doing, where they had that animated movie that came out last August as well. And then recently they dropped the trailer for their new animated spin-off show that they're doing while we wait for the sequel movie to come out. So I just saw a connection right there. And it's also been reported that if the animated series for Blue Beetle is a success, then it could lead into another live-action Blue Beetle film, which will take place in James Gunn's universe. So this is kind of like that situation where he said on Twitter, Peacemaker Season 1 is not canon anymore, but they're still going to have a Season 2, and that'll be canon. So this is what they're doing for Blue Beetle, it seems like also. It reminds me of a live-action version of a comic book universe reboot or retcon, where they have this big event that changes everything, and then in the next chapter or series, things are kind of like rebooted. So that's pretty cool to see. It does look messy right now on their end, but I have faith in them. But it is still pretty cool to see a live-action comic book universe reboot / retcon. With that being said, I'm actually pretty excited about this new animated series Blue Beetle's getting. I can't wait to see what they do with it. In my eyes personally, there hasn't been a bad version of Blue Beetle in DC. Especially how they capture, his teenage qualities and him reacting to how his powers work and stuff. They do a pretty good job every time in my eyes. But with that being said, if this is going to be based off of the DC movie that came out last year, then I would advise them to hone down on the Mexican representation just a little bit, because in the movie they were a little too in the nose and they kind of shoved it in your face a lot for comedic effect. It was cute the first 2 times, but when they use it a lot in the rest of the movie, it kind of gets old. So if they're gonna have representation, they should be more subtle with it, kind of like how they were in Across the Spider-Verse, where they have Miles' parents react in a way that Puerto Rican parents would react, and then you as an audience, if you're Puerto Rican, you can relate to that. You could say, oh yeah, that's how my parents would react in that situation, that's why it's funny. And Miles didn't know they would react like that. So if you have something like that instead of over the top George Lopez being animated and driving the taco truck around and being loud and obnoxious, then that could work. But other than that, I can't wait to see the show. So that's gonna be about it for my thoughts and opinions on this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and please, if you can, hit that like and subscribe button. It'll really help me out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.